There's a woman that says she's struggling making money as a stripper. Now, that's got to be the biggest L ever. Like, your value is tied so much to your looks as a woman. And if you're getting naked and you can't make any money, I can't think of anyone with lower self-esteem than like a girl that posts the most, you could argue the most valuable thing on her body, right? Her tits, her boob, whatever, on the internet and gets like $100 a month. God, that's got to be so humbling. So anyways, now these strippers are getting naked and they're not making money. This is what we're going to see now is called a humbled woman. There are times when we can be cocky, and I'll tell you when we can be cocky, you know, when women get a lot of money out of men, you know, when guys are dropping $500 on a first date, idiots. But somebody's got to do it, and maybe it's you guys in the chat, I don't know. Somebody's got to do it, right? So when that happens, the woman can kind of build an ego, right? Or when she's got a million men hitting on her all the time, that builds an ego. But when she gets naked and says, men, can you pay me? And they all say, nah, I'm good. That's humbling. That is humbling. There's a girl in the chat. She says, no, thank you. Although they may pay me to get off the stage. Well, somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do it. And it's not going to be me. Ladies in the chat. Ladies in the chat. Who's going to do it?
Okay, but what if I'm never able to afford to move out? Like, I'm a fucking stripper and I'm struggling making money because the club is so dead.
It's
weren't so dead.
You just weren't hot enough to get invited to the club that wasn't dead. I mean, look at this. Is that going to make a lot of money in Miami? No. She's got to be in Oklahoma or something.
So, like, what if I just moved to Colombia?
You would not make money because there are way hotter women than you. That is a bad plan. Oh, that's a bad plan. The women in Colombia haven't gotten that fat yet, allegedly. I've never been, so I don't know. But I've heard they're not as big as the women here. I don't think... I'll just say the more third world, the more they've paid attention to what men want, okay? Now, they may manipulate the men to get it, right? They might have been a hooker or whatever before. But I promise you, going to Colombia, that is not going to be a good plan for you.
So, like... what if I just moved to Colombia? What if I just, because it's great there. It's real cool, real awesome. I never got catcalled once. And then also, it's cheaper to live over there. Everything's walkable. Medellin, welcome you arms. Welcome you with open arms. Just saved like $5,000, right? I'm already like more than halfway there. And then just leave for a month. Then come back. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how well that's going to work, but try it. Let me know. Give me updates. Another stripper that's going broke.
Or that these things aren't actually happening to people who dance, but it kind of glamorizes and brushes over the bad parts of it. So let's get into it. First of all, dancing is not for everyone and it's not for anyone forever. There will come a point where you physically can no longer do it. You are going to get old, your ankles are going to give out, will most likely develop knee problems.
Yeah, so I just found out like a lot of people don't know that strippers pay to work. So basically you go in and like depending what shift you work, what club you're at, the rate is different. My home club was really, really low compared to every other club I ever been to. There was a couple like go-go bars I danced at in Jersey and their house fees were crazy, but it was after 7. So if you got there at 7 p.m., which is way too early if you're trying to stay till 2 a.m., then you only had to pay $25, I think. And then like after 7, it just kept getting higher. So if you came at like 10, your house fee is almost like $100.
Metal says, please buy something that's completely useless that makes you happy. Cheers. Thank you, Metal Grandpa. What is useless that makes me happy? I have to think about that. I'll get back to you later in the show.
If not over $100, depending on the day. Miami's house fees are ridiculous. It's like $300 after tip out and house fee that you are spending just to have work. So if you didn't make $300, you made negative money and nobody cares.
My second point is going to be about bad days. Like, yes, you see girls on TikTok and YouTube taking home thousands of dollars a day. And that's fantastic. It feels amazing when you do. But it makes those bad days feel even worse. Because there's going to be days you take home $50, $0. The club is slow as f*** and everyone's making you mad. it's hard to realize how much that takes a toll on your mental health. When you have these amazing days and then you have these horrible days, I think it makes your self-worth very tied to like...
I can see why women do it though, because women love highs and lows. So like, I mean, you guys know we fall in love when it's like the ex-boyfriend beat us one time and then we're like, oh, I can't get enough of you. And then we break up and then we're like, oh, I'm done. And then the woman's like, he cheated. Oh, I can't take it. But now I'm in love more. And then it's like she's more in love. So I could see the same thing being like with the strippers, the highs and the lows. The highs. You guys like the stable women, I think. Some of you, though, when you're young, do you know what it is? I think some of you guys just go for a little too hot when you're younger. Because, I mean, you guys are visual. You can't help it. But then you get older and you're like, all I want is a woman to just maybe cook for me once in a while. And then you guys are giving up on that. You're like, can you just be nice to me and have sex? That's it.
Income and tangible items. And it's a really unhealthy cycle that I've had to battle, and every other dancer I know has also had to battle because it looks really flashy and glamorous. But like I said, this job will make or break you, so choose your battles wisely. Since TikTok is very much glamorizing the dancing scene right now, I feel like it's really important that I go over the dangers of the job.
$120 for a 7-hour shift? Yikes. Okay, so yep. It was about 7.5 hours, $10 difference with the food, but if that $10 would have been added to the money that I made that day, this would have been a little bit higher, but that's still, let's just say like...
Yeah, these strippers, man, they're going broke. Yep. All right, we got another woman talking about... None of these are really the hottest strippers, though, so I do think it's maybe...
That there is a 20-year-old somewhere. I know that there is a 20-year-old somewhere just counting down the days until she turns 21 and she can start working in the strip club. But I am going to be a real one for you right now and tell you that that's not the best choice you can make when you turn 21. The way that the economy is right now, with the way that work has been lately, I do not recommend. It's giving 0 stars. It's giving focus on your resume. It's giving learn a skill. It's learning start your business. It's learning do not opt for the strip club to be financially stable, to be successful. I know you've probably been dreaming about it for a long time. You saw a Players Club. You want to be just like Diamond. Don't. I know you're rapping, you're doing your music, you love Cardi B, and you want to follow her footsteps. I get it, but don't. Right now is not the time to be becoming a stripper. If you didn't do it, like, the best time you could have got in was during COVID. Not even going to hold you. But, like, right now is not the time. I repeat, right now is not the time to get initiated.
Yeah, you guys got taken out. You got taken out by the OF models. You really did.
Booty club lifestyle. If you ignore this, that's on you. But you know you got to pay to play. And if you paying to play a game you don't even know how to play and it's not paying you, maybe you're going to drown really quickly.
Yeah, in a way, you guys got taken out by Indian men because those are the ones running all the OF models accounts. You know what? I met a guy in a Twitter space who said he was the one who would chat with the men. And yeah, so you guys are speaking to men when you message these women.
Not right now. Okay.
All right, we got the next one.
In the strip club called Busy Broke, where there will be a lot of people in the strip club, but ain't nobody paying no money. Ain't nobody tossing no money. Nobody's throwing money. Nobody's buying dances. Everybody just wants to sit and watch.
Economy's tough.
Economy's tough, but don't go to the strip club if your economy world is tough.
I agree.
If you don't have it, don't go. I'm on stage, and I just happen to be dancing to Christina Aguilera, Genie in a Bottle, which, if you know the song, it's a beautiful song, and I create a beautiful atmosphere dancing to it. I have that song choreographed. Be fucking for real. And so I'm up there dancing my little heart out. I know that I'm looking good. I'm the only girl on stage, and I know that people are looking at me. I know they are. There's a group of 8 dudes sitting at 2 tables, not even 5 feet away from the stage. 8
Yeah.
You can't cough up $10 a person to give me a good stage set because I look absolutely stunning up here.
So they didn't give
you don't look that stunning. That's a mid. Stunning is for the Megan Foxes, the Angelina Jolies. You look cute. All right. Let's just be honest. I told my producer today, I said he had to find an 8+ for the thumbnail. I said, if you give me a mid, I'm going to be so pissed. I think he did a good job. Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. I think he's learned well, I think. Yeah, I mean, what I don't want to do on this channel is start to elevate mids, because that's when all of this debauchery came up. When mids forgot their mids. Do you know what I mean? Like, mids used to have to make up for it with like a personality. So if there is a friend group, all of the guys obviously are going to go to the hot one first. Now, I know the PUAs will teach men to go to the ugly one first and then go for the hot one, but women, we're not stupid. We know when we're the backup. But mids used to, I saw dating advice from the 1920s, and this was probably the best dating advice I ever heard. To make friends with a beautiful woman so you can get the guys she rejects, because they're better than any guys that are going to approach you. You see, the mids used to get rid of the ego, right? They would know that their future husband, they were like the second choice. But, men can be happy with a second choice. Women, it's like, you better be Superman or we hate you. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so let's keep this ego in check. You looked cute on stage, stunning. Not really.
Didn't give you anything.
I did my whole set, not $1 on my stage. I was like, this club, this energy, 8 grown men.
You think maybe they weren't vibing?
How the you not vibing with me?
Strippers are going broke. That's when you know.
They say sex workers are the first to let you know if there's a recession, and let me tell you, they're right, and we are. Not only are we actively in it, but we've been in it for a little bit. But now it's bad. I'm currently a dancer. Went back. They say sex...
Frickin' I didn't mean to do that. You guys... Swedish house boss. Did you see what you made me do? Because I got so pissed at your comment. We are done elevating mids to beautiful. You said, Pearl, don't be mean. She's stunning. It's not mean. It's not mean to say she's cute. Okay. This is what, do you know what? When was the time in your life, guys, where you just realized that the world is crazy? Because at some point you think it's you, right? I'm like, that's a man, that's a woman. And the world's like, no, and I'm like, okay. And then you're like, maybe I'm crazy. And then you say, you know what? I think that girl's cute. She's not beautiful. And then the world's like, blah, 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 blah. You're like, okay. And then you say, hey, maybe you shouldn't let your wife talk to you that way. And then the world's like, blah, 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 blah. And then you realize you're like, I'm not crazy. The world's crazy, because they all listen to women, but not all women. Okay, not all.
Sex workers are the first to let you know if there's a recession, and let me tell you, they're right, and we are. Not only are we actively in it, but we've been in it for a little bit. But now it's bad. I'm currently a dancer. I went back after a 2-year break in December, and before that 2-year break, I had only danced for a year. Now, in my first year, y'all, please don't judge me. I'm just going to be very transparent. But in my first year, I made so much money that today, I am still living off of savings from 2 years ago. I started dancing in September, but at the time I was still working full-time for the state of Texas. I was a social worker. I had just moved to Austin, so my rent had just fucking doubled. And moving to Austin was not cheap, so I had maxed out all my credit cards, gone through the savings that I had at the time, which with social work had taken me years to build up, and I just went through it in that move. So as soon as I signed my lease in Austin, I got some dancer shoes and I took myself to the club, because I need to make all that money back and I need to make sure that I'm good to go. On top of that, 3 weeks into moving to Austin with that job, I lost the job. But so I had started dancing in
this woman's taken a lot of L's. She's cuter than the last one, though. I'd give her strong 6, 7.
December when I was still...
She ruins it with the tattoo. Why do women get sleeves?
Full-time, so I was only dancing weekends. And I was doing pretty good, but definitely not enough to fully live off of, especially because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I wasn't really hustling. I was being very baby dancer about everything. So October was my first full month where that was my only employment, and I really had to see how far it could take me. So instead of just working weekends, I committed to working every single day, multiple different shifts to see.
Hey, don't say that the strippers don't work hard. I'm going to defend the whores today. I'm going to defend them. Somebody has to do this job. Okay, women are going for 20% of men. That leaves 80% of men with a sex drive. Somebody has to do it. I don't want to do it. We should show some gratitude to the women that do the job that nobody wants to do. Hey, Doug MPA in the chat, he says working. Yes, she's working, Doug MPA. They all come across as insufferable. Hey, I'm going to cape for them today. I'm caping.
See which shifts worked out best for me. Eventually I settled on working 4 days a week, roughly 8 to 9 hour shifts. The month of October, I made $43,000.
Holy shit.
I made the mistake of thinking that it was going to be like that every single month, and so my spending habits immediately went crazy. I met a friend at that club, and she had been wanting to do a lot of traveling and dancing, so we started traveling as dancers, and turns out that dancing in different states is not the same. It's actually very expensive, and yes, sometimes you definitely can make a lot more money, but all I'm going to say is I do well in Austin, okay? So I stay in Austin. November is also kind of a big deal in Austin because of F1, and in November, I made another $37,000.
Holy shit.
So naturally, with those 2 big months, I didn't work at all. December, January, February. I just took off and I was traveling with my friend. And when I came back in March, which is also a big...
Yeah, so when women make a lot of money, we have a tendency to do as little as possible, where men know it's not going to last forever. So, if a guy was in this position, he would work 12-hour days so he could never work the rest of his life. EMS says, I need some church lady like Pearl to save her. Number 1, okay, I'm not overly religious. I don't need the church lady thing. 2, I don't want to save her. Somebody's got to do it, okay? So, I don't want to do it. Somebody's got to do it.
Big deal in Austin because of South by.
Advertising the poll is crazy. Hey, somebody's got to do it, okay?
And just spring in general. I had a big month again where I made $20,000. And let me tell you, that was the last of my big hits. But I'll admit, those were all very big hits. And that was my beginning, so I thought that was going to be a standard thing.